Hey guys, today I want to talk to you a little bit about the third anniversary, specifically about the drama that broke out in the Chinese community and it kind of flooded over, and as it always is, whatever the Chinese community does, the global community, most of them, they jump onto that bandwagon and ride it with a passion. So let me touch up upon all different points. Some points I will skip over, like for example this pathetic Lucy fan service about her feet and all of that kind of stuff. That's too stupid. We're not going to talk about that kind of crap. But yeah, let me first get out of the way what do I actually agree with. There's only one thing that I agree with, and those are the Euphoria updates. Like, look, getting 2 Euphoria updates in the third anniversary is an absolute unacceptable joke at this point. Every single version, standard version, we get 2 Euphorias anyways. We don't need a third anniversary for that. And then, yeah, of course we are hit with the Nautica Euphoria number 2. That was very obvious. That was already a must do anyways, so that is not even something special. And aside from the fact that we only get 2 Euphoria updates here, the choice of picking regulars for the Euphoria update when we have the gazillion other characters that are desperately waiting for the Euphoria and you need them to become even viable. Like, Regulus doesn't need a Euphoria update. She's viable, she's played in Star Prompto, she's even her best in slot in that team, so it doesn't make any sense to begin with. And the other characters here, just to name a few, we need Euphoria updates desperately for a long time now. For Jay, Windsong, Lopera, Kakania, 37, it is version 3.7. Where in the world is the 37 Euphoria? What are they waiting for? 37 is one of the most popular characters in the entire game. It would be an absolute W to give us a 37 Euphoria in version 3.7 that is a fucking anniversary. Like, I don't know what they are thinking, what they're doing. It's absolutely incredible, and that, even as you can probably hear, makes me even a little bit mad. So I can understand the outrage concerning that kind of topic. We even have characters that need additional Euphoria updates because they are absolutely pathetically weak. Just to name a few again here, we have Lilia, Druvis, Mrs. Bubble, Pickles. Sotheby needs help. You know what I mean? Why not do anything of that? It's absolutely crazy. Why do not give 5 Euphorias? It has to be something special, you know? We from time to time get 4 Euphorias, like for example it is right now in the half anniversary. But this is the third anniversary, it has to be better than a half anniversary. Why not give us 5 Euphoria updates? Or yeah, at least if you give 4, that would be totally fine and okay. Nothing more to be expected here, but do this at least properly and give the characters Euphoria updates that everyone is asking and begging for, because these characters desperately need them. Picking Regulus here is a bad choice. Getting 2 Euphoria updates is an absolute no-go. So there I can understand the actual outrage. Alright, we can move on. I will talk a little bit more about Nautica because yeah, this is a very special topic in the third anniversary later, but now let's move on. And the next topic is really crazy, and that also makes me mad because the people are complaining about, oh, we don't get enough free stuff down our ass in the third anniversary. Where are the freebies? Where are the freebies? Like, guys, did you actually forget that we get a free copy of Matilda? Like, what are you even asking for? That was obviously a joke, but yeah, we can continue. Guys, let's talk about all of the freebies. It is actually insane how much free stuff we get and what we get for free. Let's look at it. We get, of course, a free 10 pull on the new limited character banner. We get a bunch of unilogs here. Here is 20 plus a decathlon. That's another free pull. 30 pulls here in total. We get 100 clear drops. Clear drops is what they are called, out of multiple different sources. Those are also gonna be multiple unilogs on top of that. Here is another free 10 pull plus 5 unilogs, and we get coupons for the for a discount for the garments that are gonna be released. And I hope you are aware of what garments are actually coming. Here we can select a free portrait out of an absolutely incredible selection of characters. We can choose here a portrait for characters that are on the very top of the metagame just for free. Okay, that is not all. We have more. Here you can see coupons for the anniversary, but it gets better for the garments, excuse me. It gets better because we get here 3 characters for free, and those are not just any 3 characters. We get Lady by the Lake and Silverwing Eagle. Silverwing Eagle will see a little bit of play for a little while at least, but in the selection of those 3 characters that we get for free, right? Let me put emphasis on that. There is a 6-star character here that we get for free. Normally we get a free 5-star and that's it, right? Buddy fat fuck, I'm looking at you. Here we get a free 6-star character. Not only that, that is like, I don't think people realize how much of a big deal this is. This is a free 6-star character that introduces a new archetype that will be on the top of the meta for months and months to come at the very least, if not for an entire year at least. You know what I mean? When this character is introduced with Coppelia right here, she is gonna be played. You're gonna play her, like of course if you want, but you should. That is the recommended way. The new archetype instrument is gonna be meta for at least 6 months. That is an easy call. Even longer, I predict this to be an entire year, and we get like a powerhouse character that will be a dominant force in that archetype for months and months to come for free. Guys, that is way better than getting a buddy fat fuck or getting like 100 pulls where you would potentially run out of without anything that you wanted, right? Not every you can't forget that not out of these 100 free pulls, not everyone is getting the character that they choose there. They would have to pay 40 unilogs out of their own pockets to get a character, yeah, out of a good selection, but also not a selection that is truly crushing it. Here, Coppelia, the free 6-star character in the 3rd anniversary, is way bigger than that. Okay, as I said, I think people don't realize how much of a big deal and what kind of freebie this one is right here. I just wanted to tell you about that, but it gets way better. That is not it by far, you know. We get garments here for free as well, multiple of those, and high quality ones. Here we get name day. Okay, that is of course not something that we truly care about, but here is a highly like that would be a $10 garment, but we get it for free, and it is for Spathodea. You know what I mean? Also, like, don't sleep on that. On top of 3 characters, on top of all the unilogs, we get 2 garments for free. So to sum this up, we will get at least 70 unilogs for free, at the least, right? That is a 50-50 on a banner of your choice. We get Coppelia, which is a big deal. We get Lady by the Lake. We get Silverwing Eagle. We get coupons, we get unilogs, we get a free portrait from a very good character selection, right? And all things like that. I don't know what if you are one of the people that complained, if anyone is watching this video that is part of the crew that complained about the freebies in the 3rd anniversary, like, let me ask you, honestly, what were you expecting? What would be the thing that you could be asking for? You get a bunch of characters here, you get garments here for free, you get coupons to buy the garment of your choice, you get a free portrait. Like, what else could it be? You know, you get a bunch of unilogs, which are also additional pulls. I don't know what people were expecting, or like I'm even asking what they were expecting. Okay, now we can move from that topic and stay at the topic, but talk about this one here in particular. This is an event where you can read it right here. During the event period, for every $1 you spend, you earn points. And once you have accumulated enough points, you will reach certain milestones. For each milestone reached, you get something for free. Like you can see here, like a decathlon, for example, or a free Euphoria update. So I think Cocoon of Myths or something is what this item is called. You get one Euphoria update for free without investing resources into it. You get the unique garment for Anionala here for free. You get for free a selection. You get 2 characters, and you can choose one limited character and one character from the standard pool that you obtain right here. That is the milestone that we will be shooting for, and the milestone that most people would want to reach. Okay, and now people are like really mad about this and outraging and complaining about this because, oh, I need to spend money now to obtain these 2 free characters, otherwise I will miss out. No, you will not miss out on anything. You will pull for Nautica and you will pull for Rihanna. If you obtain these 2 characters, that's it. There is nothing else to miss out on. Maybe you can make a slight argument for Regulus on the Euphoria banner. Everyone will have enough resources saved up to pull for these 3 characters easily. And also, what I want to mention is, like, don't pretend you are not gonna spend any money on this anniversary, but now I have to spend the money even though I didn't want to because I need these 2 characters and I don't want to fall behind, so I will spend money. You are full of shit, bro, if you are making this stupid argument. Like, if you look at the garments here, look at Sharon. Look at Ice Cream 37, motherfucker. Like, you want to tell me you're not going to pull for this? You want to tell me you're not going to go for the new garment for Coppelia? You're not going to get Fatutu? You're not going to look at Nautica, bro. That is going to be made up for 1 more year at least. You tell me you're not going to get this precious garment for the best character in the entire game? I mean, alright then, you know what I mean? I don't believe you. If you tell me you're not gonna purchase any one of those garments here, I will call you a liar, straight up. And, you know, most people, this is a gacha game. If anyone who plays a gacha game is willing to spend at least a little bit of money, people pulling on the scam banners left, right and center, and then they go broke, and then they spend to pull for characters. And you want to tell me, like, you're not gonna spend money for portraits for Nautica? We gotta wait a little bit and see how the Rihanna portraits here will turn out. Anyways, I'm telling you, you're gonna spend money on the Rihanna banner anyways, no matter how her portrait's gonna turn out. The point that I'm trying to get across here is that you cannot tell me that you're not gonna spend money either on a banner or on a garment or here. Check this one out. There are gonna be, of course, good deals in the shop. Let me show you one right here. Let me scroll down and find it. This one right here. There is the Souvenir of Companionship. We had this in the past. And if you buy this, right, this will cost, last time it cost 30 bucks. So I will predict this will cost like around 30 bucks again. And then you receive 10 Unilocks. That's already 10 bucks. Plus a 6-star character of your choice from the standard pool. People are gonna buy this and they're gonna grab Skip Arena out of this thing like you have never seen before. It's gonna happen, 100% guaranteed. People are pulling on a scam banner left, right and center to obtain Skip Arena. And Skip Arena is only one character out of the standard pool. A lot of people, most people of the community will buy this exact item, and it's gonna be worth it. And guess who's buying it as well? It's me. You know what I mean? Then it's already 30 bucks. Now count 10 bucks for a garment, or for 2 garments maybe even on top of that, and boom, you get 2 characters here for free. Right? The people look at this event here like it is some like scam, or like this is an incentive for people to spend, and therefore it would be predatory. No. These are freebies, because everyone is gonna spend on the anniversary anyways. Even if they say they won't, they don't, they're free to play. Yeah, then if you want to go free to play in a gacha and never spend any money, then why are you even playing a gacha game, you know? And honestly, like, I know a lot of people, they won't like to hear this, they would dislike the video right now. I don't give a fuck. That is the truth of the situation. People gonna spend on an anniversary anyways, so there's no reason to complain about this, because those will be just freebies. There is, of course, a little bit of a question that has to be answered here. Like, we don't know exactly how much cash we would need to spend to reach the milestone of getting these 2 characters, right? Now, if this milestone would be reached by us spending 100 bucks, okay. Like, then I agree with you. Then this event, it is at least a little bit predatory. Not 100%, because you don't need these 2 characters. There's no need. What you need is Nautica and Rihanna, and yeah, maybe Regulus, to be honest. Those are the 3 characters. You don't need the selection of these 2 characters. No matter if you are like brand new or whatever, you don't need these 2 characters, right? But I would see at least the point that you are like, yeah, the point of view that you are coming from. But let's be real, guys. That is not gonna be the case. To reach these 2 characters, we're gonna spend around 30 bucks up to 50 bucks. 50 bucks would be the maximum that you need to spend to obtain these 2 characters. I'm telling you this right now. Like, Bluepoch is not that kind of shit that, yeah, you have to spend 500 bucks in this game or you don't get the 2 characters. They're not gonna do that, bro. They are always generous, they're always cheap, you know. Don't worry about that kind of crap. Okay, so now we can calm down a little bit. Let's talk about the character design. That is also something that people complain about. Now, I would personally never complain about something like that, because in my opinion, this is something that belongs to the eye of the beholder. Like, what is beautiful to me might not be beautiful to someone else. You know what I mean? But, and here's a very important but, Reverse1999 is, when it comes to their character design, the standard that they set for character designs for themselves is absolute peak in the entire gaming industry. They are the best. Straight up. We are not even talking just mobile games or just gacha games. No, every game of all time, you know. If you look at the character design, Reverse1999, they are the best. This is the only game that I have said that for a long time. I mentioned that multiple times on my stream, that Reverse1999 is the only game that, from a perspective from the character design that they put out, is the only franchise ever that would rival like things like Final Fantasy and One Piece when it comes to the overall character design and how many good characters, lovable characters with a soul and everything. Like, Reverse is crushing it. I would say they are the #1, and then Final Fantasy, and then One Piece. You know what I mean? No other franchise manages to put out so many good character designs as Bluepoch does with Reverse1999. And that is why, from my own personal perspective, these 3 characters here from the 3rd anniversary, they lag behind the standard. Those are, yeah, among the worst designs. I would even go as far and say that this game has to offer, right? Concerning 6 stars at least. So I can understand where the people that complain about these character designs here, where they're coming from. I personally, as I said, I would never complain about that, but I agree. I absolutely agree, because we from Bluepoch, from Reverse 1999, we can expect more, because they're always crushing it, they're always peak with the character designs. And these characters here, from my perspective, in my eyes, are not that peak level that we always see. And then releasing them, you could release these characters in a standard version and no one would say anything, right? But these three designs on a like major anniversary, it is on the weaker side of things. We gotta be honest here. But again, you know, people can disagree with this. I hear people that love Rhiannon. They will P5 her because they love her design, no matter how her portraits will ever look. They love the design of this character. They find it peak and they P5 her, right? That's what I mean with, like, when it comes to how things look, that is up to the eye of the beholder. What I'm saying is here, these characters are, in my view, lag behind the standard, and for an anniversary, major anniversary in fact, is not acceptable. So I can understand that complaint at least a little bit. Still, it is very, very pathetic to go out of your way on Reddit or on Twitter to complain about that. You are a moron if you do that, right? Let's be real. But yeah, that's about that kind of topic. Okay, that was everything that I wanted to talk about with you guys when it comes to the outrage and all this toxicity that is going on. Now, let me talk about something else, and let me glaze Bluepoch here a little bit. And for that one, please hit me up in the comment section down below and let me know about the thoughts that I will give you right now, and tell me what you think about what I'm about to say. Look, I mentioned that also on my live stream, right? I was scared. I even mentioned it once in my Discord server as well, briefly, that it is a little bit scary to think about moving, like, before we knew what is going to be released in the 3rd anniversary and how everything will look like. That was before we had any information about it. And I was talking about the fact that it is very, very scary to me to think about that, because of course the expectation was that the new true limited character will be another main DPS character, yeah? And looking at how incredibly overpowered and how heavily they did go overboard with Nautica, how dominant she is, and by the insane amount of margin that she's the best character in the game. No one is close to Nautica, believe it or not, right? It's a fact. And now, thinking about the fact that the by far best character in the game will receive a Euphoria update, I mean, yikes. And needless to explain and say that the 3rd anniversary main DPS limited character that we thought would happen would need to be better than Nautica, so that, yeah, it is valuable enough and hype enough and everything. That thought scared me a little bit, because they already made the game unbalanced when it comes to Nautica, you know. But because again, Nautica is so much better than anyone else, it's not even close. And now introducing something that is even better than Nautica, that would be too crazy. And here is where I want to glaze Bluepoch, because look, especially recently, I have played a lot of new games, and yeah, I was looking for a lot of stuff to play to cover this on my second channel, you know what I mean? And I see this time and time and time again, that the game developers have absolutely no clue what they are doing with their game. Mostly, in most cases, it comes from the fact that they say, hey, they listen to the community and to the feedback that they get, and according to whatever the community tells them, they make changes based onto what feedback they get, and it turns always out like absolute horrendous garbage, and their games always get worse and worse and worse because they first of all don't understand their own game, and on top of that they listen to like the community. You know, it's never gonna work out that way. Most people have this absolutely zero idea what they are talking about at all, and those are the people that you are listening to as a game developer, you are bound to run your game into the ground. And here in this 3rd anniversary, Bluepoch proves to be the exact opposite, and I love them for that. They did the best thing they could have possibly ever done. Why is that? Because they don't listen to the community. If they would have listened to the community, they wouldn't be aware of the fact that Nautica is by far the best character in the game. And you shouldn't even try to challenge her in her place, because that would be unhealthy for your game's balance. And that's why Bluepoch is absolute peak, because they don't listen to the community. They understand their own game, and they have a design philosophy for their game, and they want their game to be high quality, also in terms of balancing, and they absolutely nailed it. You know, if they would have gone through with the fear that I have of them releasing a better character than Nautica, it would have not been great. But the attempt, what they did here is they don't even bother to release a main DPS. They release like sub DPSs or mediocre DPSs. They release as the new limited character a full-fledged on support that has nothing even to do with dealing any damage or carrying the team. You know what I mean? They made the perfect call here in not even trying to challenge Nautica on her throne. That is amazing. And I haven't seen the full Euphoria update, the full-fledged thing for a Euphoria update. I haven't seen that. I have only seen part of it. Only part of it has been released, right? I was looking everywhere. No one has the full data on the entire Nautica Euphoria, right? But I got a glimpse, and from the glimpse that I got, they do not go crazy overboard with this Euphoria either, because they understand that yes, we have to give Nautica her Euphoria number 2 to meet everyone's expectation, right? And yeah, to be consistent with what we put out. We gave Lucy her Euphoria update in the 2nd anniversary, so in the 3rd anniversary we're gonna give Nautica a Euphoria. Perfect. But again, Bluepoch, they understand that they cannot do too much. Nautica is the best character in the game, even on the 3rd anniversary without her Euphoria update. So they give her a slight Euphoria update, right? They sprinkle a little bit on top on her and don't go overboard with this, at least from what I have seen. Again, an absolute genius decision here from them one more time. So, you know, I have a little bit of complaints here for this version. It's honestly, for me personally, I only complain about the Euphoria update, that we only get 2. That's like my only issue I have with this. With everything else, I'm fine. The character design, as I said here, could be a little bit better from my point of view. But I mean, look at Rhiannon. She's kind of cute. She's totally fine, right? I wouldn't complain about that at all. But yeah, the decision here to let me tell you that one more time. The decision here, right, and to point out how good Bluepoch is as a game developer is to not challenge Nautica is absolutely brilliant, and I love them for that so much you can't even imagine. Okay, and with this one I will leave you now alone, and please tell me your thoughts about the last bit that I just said. Do you agree with this? Do you think, like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you probably disagree that Nautica is the best character in the game, so yeah, but whatever, right? Still, tell me your thoughts. I'm curious what you think about that. But yeah, let's leave on that high note and call it a day. Thank you very much for watching, if you watched until that point. If you like Reverse1999 content in general, please consider leaving a follow on my channel. I would really appreciate it. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and we love this game.